Beautiful it is. I feel like I say that every time, but look at how beautiful it is out. It's hot. It's so hot, but it's so pretty. Look at all this greenery. Thank you for having me in Philadelphia. I've never been here, and I feel like this is the most powerful time, potent time, to be introduced to Philly. So thank you for having me in your city. Thank you for all of you who traveled across the country to come to Philadelphia. How many of you are from out of town? So wicked! So, I am part of a movement called Up to Us. Yeah, there's a lot of us in here who started in Los Angeles and caravanned across the country. Others joining along the way. Each town that we stopped in, we met with local organizers, local activists who informed us about the struggles and the endurances that are happening in their communities. We originally started this caravan as a political movement to keep people politically involved because after the California primaries, I'm sure a lot of you here feel, a lot of people felt defeated and helpless when there was 2.5 million votes that were uncounted. Yeah? Any of you experienced that defeat? Because I sure did. So we started the caravan because we realized that for a long time we have had corrupt politicians in office, and corrupt means different things to different people, so I say that with an open mind. But we've had corrupt politicians in office. And yes, they've done some things that we don't agree on and that we didn't vote for, and they do it anyway. Yep. But a big part of that, guys, is our responsibility because we've let them. And I think what we've seen because of Bernie Sanders, thank you, Bernie Sanders, regardless of whether you are a Bernie supporter or not a Bernie supporter, the people in this country are not only saying enough is enough, but they are standing up and they are doing something about it. It is one thing to want change, and it's a whole nother thing to actually create change. How many of you want change? How many people look at your brothers and your sisters and your neighbors' eyes and you see pain and hurt and suffering, and then you look in the mirror and you see that in your own eyes, and maybe you don't relate to other people's pain and suffering, because I'll never know what you feel and you'll never know what I feel. But I can stand in solidarity with you, and we don't have to agree on anything. We don't have to agree on anything. But we gotta start being compassionate, empathetic citizens to create change in this country. We gotta break it down. When we say it starts with us and it's up to us, it really is up to us to make a choice every single day to show up with integrity, to show up with honesty, and to show up with love to our neighbors, to the people we interact with on a daily level. Because the DNC is not gonna happen every day. This is a magical moment. But it's gonna end in a few days, and then what? Then what? Does anyone know? Because I don't really know. After this, it's our responsibility to go back into our communities and bring the passion, bring the energy that we are all experiencing here. Bring our truths, and remember that truths are fluid. They're constantly changing, and what's my truth is not your truth, again. And I don't have to understand you. But I want to support you in your process. And the only way to do that is to be empathetic and do it with love. So it's our job to go back to our communities, to find out who's running for office, to find out who our local politicians are. Those are incredibly important things. That's what's going to keep this political revolution moving. But what we like to say on the Up to Us Caravan is this is not just a political revolution. This is a personal revolution. This is a human revolution. And this is a love revolution. Every single day, we have the choice to show up or not to show up. And it's a lot easier not to. It is a lot easier to sit at home and complain, not be on the front lines. It's a lot easier not to pick up that phone and phone bank. It's a lot easier to be angry. Because I'm angry, you guys. I'm so angry. I'm done. But if I go out and I protest with anger, that is going to get us nowhere. That is why we are seeing all of this violence. Because you approach a situation with anger and nobody wins. Because everyone's too busy trying to prove a point. You show up to a situation and to a protest with love, in solidarity, with those around you, and that is how we create change. It all starts with us. Some of us have platforms. I don't know your community and you don't know mine. So let's have a conversation so that I can share your words and bring you up on this platform. We can talk together. And I don't know your members or your community members where you guys all live. But it's your responsibility to access people I don't have access to, and it's my responsibility to access people you don't have access to. That is how a movement moves. It's teamwork. And we gotta let our egos go. We gotta let our anger go. We gotta approach this with love. Nako Bear, who's an amazing musician, who's about to come up here and sing in a little while, he has a lyric in one of his songs. He says, open up your fist. There's a misconception you can fight like this. That is potent. We can go out here in Philadelphia and be the people, and I'm getting kicked off, I think. Be the people who bring that love. Okay, so before I go, the next person who's gonna come up here. It is so important that we get progressives in office, guys. He's an amazing individual. His name is Chase Iron Eyes. He's running for Congress in North Dakota. I met him because we're trying to shut down a pipeline that they're trying to build on his reservation illegally, breaking their treaties. Before I bring him up, I'm going to introduce a dear friend of mine. Her name is Kalita Lawrence, and she's going to share with you an Indigenous song.